It is the Thursday edition. And we'll see you tomorrow night edition. And the I don't believe what I just saw edition. Neither of which were used by our buddy Jeff Levering on the call on 620 WTMJ, which paying off syncing up the old radio to the TV telecast edition. And by the way, the Packers play in L.A. on Sunday. Is this a get-right game for the Packers? And will their kicker, who I thought was very open yesterday with us about his struggles and what he needs to fix, will he get right edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. What did we go, like 8 or 9 shows with all three of us together?
Was it that many? That
Probably
seems like
not.
a lot.
But Jesse Nelson is out of the mix today. In his stead, he will not do any voices. He will not do trivia about UFC fighting. But we are happy to have him, one of our young rising stars of ESPN Madison. Riley Yauk is our cousin sub of the day. Riley, good morning.
Yauk. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm great. Happy to be here. And, of course, the straw that stirs our Tito's-infused beverage. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you, Mr. Palm?
Palm?
You're palming.
Palm?
You might be palming.
I don't know if I'm palming.
No, I don't. I think
Big
you can
moments.
be both. I think you can be both palming and be right, though. And I think that's what you might be.
Well, then you're not palming. Palming, prisoner of the moment. And obviously, last night
What a moment.
Was big moments, and we've seen a lot of it throughout the season. The Brewers deciding to sign Jackson Chourio to a 10-year deal before he's really ever played. So you kind of had an idea they have big expectations for him. But the Brewers, you can say what you want. The Packers are always in the pecking order, going to be up here. And then the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's going to be tough to get, to kind of climb that ladder.
Sure.
But when you have nights like last night, what are you raising your eyebrow like you're Ric Flair? I think he elevated himself just off of last night's performance into the top 3.
Is that the right? Did I do the right person there?
I think from a Wisconsin fan standpoint,
I think so.
The Brewers, with being a young star and doing it on the big stage now, after tonight, if things go great, it's only going to add to his lore. If you get beat, then you're probably going to be looking at Jaden Reed jumping him in 2 or 3 weeks. That's how this all goes, because everything right now outside of Giannis is young and fluid in Wisconsin sports. Giannis is the number one of number ones. And then after that, it's, with Rodgers leaving and with everything else, it's a new era and there's a lot of new sheriffs that are coming to town. And I thought last night Jackson Chourio made a big jump, and now I think he's our third star in our Wisconsin landscape. So, I don't think that's palming at all.
No, of course not.
But it kind of is.
But it kind of is. So here's the other thing about that, though, and I have a corollary question. I did share your take on the social media platforms because I wanted to see how other people responded. Because, again, I do believe you can be a prisoner of the moment and also be correct. And you are putting Jackson Chourio as the number 3 in the pecking order of greatest Wisconsin sports stars of today, behind Giannis and behind J. Love. But here's the other thing. When's the last time someone this young was this much of a stud. Because Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Jordan Love sat for 3 years. Giannis was certainly not Giannis when he arrived as a skinny kid from Greece.
Know the answer. You know the answer to this question. You watched Just a Bit Outside. You know the answer to this question.
No, I have no idea.
The kid?
The
kid.
So as someone who loves Robin Yount, I would say that he arrived as an 18-year-old kid, but if you've watched Just a Bit Outside, he says in there basically that the Brewers were so crummy that they didn't care about playing an 18-year-old kid at shortstop who wasn't ready to play in the big leagues.
Jason, take Robin's humility. He came on our show and was incredibly humble.
He was. God, that was great. So, we got to get him back.
Yeah,
he's throwing out the first pitch tonight.
Robin Yount is.
Yeah.
He is the closest thing, and I know, and I think you saw the same thing I did, the interview that him and Jackson did together, which was awesome. He would be the guy. I don't know if there's anybody else.
And he broke into the majors in 1974.
Yeah, it's right around the time Dallas got on air.
So what I'm saying is,
J.R. Ewing was selling oil already at that point.
Yeah, so the thing about Robin Yount, who, again, I have my little shrine down here in the basement to him. Like, that's my guy. So, obviously, I love everything about him, and when he's on the show, I don't get nervous anymore, but I will say that having his phone number in my phone may be the greatest thing that my 8-year-old self would look into the future and say, when you're in your late 40s, early 50s, you're going to have Robin Yount's phone number. That would have been amazing. But he breaks into the league in 1974. His batting average was .250. He hit 3 home runs as a rookie. Like, we know what Robin became, but I don't think Robin's just being humble. He's saying, look, I wasn't quite ready. They threw me in there anyway, and look what I became, but fine. Chourio to do what he did last night, 2 home runs. Like, he did what Yount did in the elimination game in Baltimore on the last day of the season of 1982 to get them into the postseason.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Which is why I was tweeting at Kelly Call.
So, is your answer there has been nobody? Is that what you're telling me? There's nobody.
Like Gary Sheffield, people were really excited about. He was really young, but then he abandoned us, right? And that he's part of that pantheon of great Wisconsin professional athletes who bailed on us and scarred us permanently.
And why we have a little insecurity as a fan base.
Correct, sure. Exactly. He's a big piece of that. So, I don't know. Are you able to renegotiate contracts when you sign a 10-year deal? Because I'm guessing that his earning power will
baseball's a different animal, though. Your rights are controlled 7 or 8 years, so you give a little, you take a little. I'm not worried about that. Let's enjoy what we've seen, what we saw, and what you heard last night, and that was this team and why – in the past, I've been a little down because, the aw shucks attitude, and I'm really glad that we're not doing that show today because that would have been the show today.
It would have.
Had we not rallied and come back in that 8th inning and done what we saw, it would have been the aw shucks. Well, what do you expect? The Mets payroll is this and this. And could that happen still? Sure. But those moments, sports are about moments. And rising up for those moments. And last night, this team has just got that extra gear. And I said on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, I think a lot of times it's better to be young enough to know what you don't know. And you don't feel all that pressure of when you're getting older and you start seeing the end coming, you maybe get these opportunities and it's, we better take advantage of it. The whole Dick Bennett hold on loosely. that's not human nature. It's to grab on tightly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that typically doesn't lead to good things in sports. You have a lot of young stars. And, for some of us, the fans are feeling like this is going to be something you're going to continue to go and go and go. I've been hardened enough to know that's not how sports works. Now, you have a young core and you have a group of guys that you feel like are going to continue to get better and better. That's great. But it can be very refreshing to see young guys just go out and play. They don't have all that baggage and those scars that veteran players have. And I thought you saw a little bit of that last night. And you've seen that throughout the season where this undaunted, which normally I'm, catchphrase, all this other stuff, I love it. Because it's exactly the mindset that they're looking for, and you saw it executed. It's daunting to be behind in the 8th inning with your season on the line. It's overwhelming, and you could think, maybe it's just not our time. But if you're undaunted, you say, blank that, we're going to go do this. And what'd they do last night?
They did it.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I said this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy because Big Cat was filling in for Jen and Chew, and it was Gabe and Big Cat and Ashton Rotman on this morning's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every weekday 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. There was a lot of chicken littling and a lot of dunzoing in our little group chat. There were definitely some daunted. No, I if you'd let me finish, okay. Not you. You definitely were not. Or at least you didn't share it with the group if you were. But the Chicken Littles, the sky, and look, I totally understand why. Like, first of all, they're the only team to have lost game 1 in these 4 series that managed to force a game 3. Everybody else, if there are Wilde and Tausch equivalent shows in Houston, Baltimore, and Atlanta, their versions of Dunzo got out the clown car.
Yeah.
Here, he's still stuffed in the trunk, and hopefully he doesn't come out tonight. But I don't blame them. I mean, you're down in the 8th inning. And then a magical inning happens, and the Brewers force a Game 3 tonight. 6:08 first pitch, like the area code for Madison, on 620 WTMJ, your flagship for Brewers baseball. Again, I think it's great, but here's me being sports writer guy instead of fan guy.
Are you not a fan? You don't cover this team. Why aren't you a fan of the Brewers?
I'm not going to waste people's time trying to explain how my brain works. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed what happened last night, but it would not have impacted me had they not rallied. It just doesn't. I'm not just.
You just don't care.
I'm just not wired that way. I loved it. It was great. I mean, I loved it. I got caught up in the moment a little bit. I'll acknowledge that.
Isn't that being a fan? You get caught up in the moment?
No, I was caught up in this. I mean,
I just feel like you're so. You always say don't get caught, don't get tied into a prediction and then root for that outcome.
Yeah.
You've done this with your stupid fandom part. You grew up in Milwaukee.
No.
You went to games. You don't cover. I get the fact you cover the Packers and you want to be unbiased and you want to do this. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. But this, I don't understand.
So
you have no ties. You're from here. Just enjoy the Brewers run and enjoy the fandom part of it.
But I just what it felt like for me, and I don't want to waste our fans want something other than me.
No, I think our fans are curious why you're not a Brewers fan.
That's what I think
our fans are curious,
Jason. So that means the fans must be curious.
All right, Riley, nobody asked you. Go back to being quiet over there.
Jason, can you just not be a fan of any team at this point?
Yeah, obviously I'm a fan of the girls and the teams they're on. That's the only thing I like. What I felt last night, I love Bill Schroeder. He has been a great friend to us.
I love Bill Schroeder.
Yes, Randy Newman sang that. That's the B-side of I Love L.A. And Jeff Levering's become a good friend of ours, right? I got a lot of friends who work for the Brewers. My buddy Jason Hartland is like a big deal over there. Like there's a lot of people that I know were really, really happy last night and would have been really, really bummed had they lost. And so I was happy for them. But I turned off the TV and then I went back to working on my Dontavion Wicks story. Like there's a great clip of Alex Strofe that's circulating on our social media channels reacting to the home run that gives them the lead. And he's screaming his head off, and it is disorienting to watch the video. Frankly, I felt like I had like vertigo because he's moving the camera and everything, and I'm just over. But that is pure joy. I didn't feel that. I was like, all right, that was pretty awesome. That was neat. That's me. That's how I am. I'm sorry. But I'm really happy.
I'm not asking you to throw a parade. I'm asking you to just say, dang, I'm really excited, and I really hope they keep winning.
I really hope they keep winning.
But you don't care. I can tell you don't have the juice. Like what? I'm just confused. Like, granted, I've worked with you now for a long time,
and you still don't understand.
I don't understand. You stand on hills that are just sometimes mind blowing.
Yeah, it's quite the hill. It's just I'm just trying to be honest. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to be honest. Speaking of honest, our friend Jeff Levering had a great call. I'd like to play that later in the show. We do want to get to Packers stuff, including the honesty of Braden Narveson, who I thought was fantastic yesterday, talking about what he needs to fix and how lucky he is that the Packers didn't kick his butt to the curb, whereas many other teams at this point already would have.
Sure? Are we sure that he's kicking this week? Is that locked in?
I think they would have made the change already.
Okay.
But if he misses on Sunday, I have a hard time picturing him getting even more leash. What I can picture is Tausch telling us about the new October deals, steals, and something else that rhymes from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The durability of materials gets tested. They open and they close the doors, latches, and shades tens of thousands of times to ensure that they last for years to come. Pella offers custom colors and innovative features like shades between the glass. Right now you get 0 interest for up to 36 months. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends October 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
We'll get to some Packers conversation next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Betting slip ever, or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to The Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Economilwaukee's Cashton Allen. The senior wide receiver putting up a couple of video game scores in the Raccoons' first ever conference win over Arrowhead. Allen's 2 touchdowns totaled 167 yards, the first coming on a 70-yard catch and run touchdown, followed up by a 97-yard display of quickness and footwork leading to the second touchdown. All part of Economilwaukee's 28-21 win over Arrowhead to stay undefeated on the season. Cashton is also a big piece on the court for the Raccoons. A 6'3" shooting guard, Allen's junior season saw him average over 12 points a game. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, two-sport athlete Cashton Allen.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is October 13th. If your family is interested in becoming part of the CMH tradition, make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 13th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. As the only school awarded the Exemplary Award for Academic Excellence by the Archdiocese, find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet faculty and coaches, learn about all the clubs and extracurricular activities. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform, the Coakley crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, we will get to some Packers conversation, but apparently, even though media starts with me, I don't really want to make this about me and my lack of fandom. But apparently,
I just find it odd.
People are intrigued by it.
Yeah, Jason, I have a question for you. So, do you have an exact moment where your fandom died or something like that? Did the
great question.
School of Journalism
What a
and
great
Mass
question,
Communication
youngster.
beat it out of you?
R.I.P. Jason Wilde's fandom. Yeah, I would definitely say it happened when I was at the University of Wisconsin. And there was, I'll tell you, in fact, that's actually a really good question. Because, look, I was obviously really excited as someone who had grown up as not only a Brewers fan and a Bucks fan and a Packers fan, but also a Badgers fan. And basically from 4 years old, I always wanted to go to college at Wisconsin. But I covered a story where 2 Badger football players, before Tausch's time, just beat the living daylights out of a guy behind a bar. And I had to write the story for the Badger Herald. And it reminded me that it made clear to me in that moment, that while there is a tendency to worship athletes in our culture, that was my first direct experience with a really bad story about guys that you're cheering for on Saturday. And as my career has gone on, there have been more and more of those moments. And, I'm lucky because I get to do this show every day with a guy who is as authentic as they come. Like, I know this, we bicker and fight and whatever else, but he's as good of a person as I could ever ask for to do a radio show with. And I've gotten to cover a lot of good guys, but I always try to warn people that we just don't know these guys that well. Even me, who spends more time with them. And so having been, I don't want to say let down, but certainly realizing that there are guys that we cheer for that we would not cheer for who they are, but we cheer for what they do. And there is a definite separation for me as a result between the art and the artist. And so that happened while I was in college. Then obviously I chose to do this for a living, and I love what I do. I love telling guys stories, but it's just, I'm not wired that way anymore. So that's how it works. Again, there's way more important stuff to talk about than how my brain works. God knows that. But it's just not, I just don't work that way. And that's the best way I can explain it. Awesome follow-up.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. What do you want me to say?
You.
I'm not going to tell you.
No, that was Riley. Riley brought up the question.
Riley, you have any follow-ups?
No, thank you. I appreciate that inside look. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
So here's where I disagree with Wilde's thoughts on himself in this case, because yes, there are bad people in every realm. There's bad things that happen, but you're going to not allow yourself to enjoy the enjoyment of something that you're no longer covering. The Packers stuff I totally get, but this isn't the case where someone last night did something brutally bad and had a game-winning home run, and you have to be, This is a young team that is, beating the odds. A team you grew up loving. You just watched the movie. You're not allowing yourself to bring all that fun joy in because two people beat the heck out of somebody behind a bar. I get it. I'm not going to tell you can't. I'm just saying, come on over, dude. It's kind of fun to just kind of let the night go, and then you don't have to be part of the parade or anything else. But dang, it's pretty dang cool, and that's why we all love sports, is that you get to enjoy moments like last night, which don't happen very often in the city of Milwaukee.
All right, but you could argue, not that I am, because this is not why I'm. And again, I appreciate everyone having an interest in this or telling me what I really feel. Jason's a fan. He just says he's not. I'm telling you, I'm not. It is hard for me to appreciate the concept that someone I am unrelated to, who doesn't even know I exist, and his or her success or failure will impact my happiness so significantly. There's a great comment in the YouTube comments, which I love to follow.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
It's where all the action is.
Are you a fan of? Have you become a fan of the YouTube chat?
No, I definitely have not. But Kevin wrote this. Wilde's fandom is similar to how I am towards pets. I don't want to care because of the pain of the loss. And that's not true about how I feel about these games, but on the flip side, for the heartbreak that you get, which is far more frequent, including potentially tonight, after all the joy of today, sure. I may miss out on the joy and the celebration and all the stuff that you're saying I'm missing out in the YouTube comments that I'm missing out on. But I'm also missing out on the flip side of it. It didn't break my heart when you guys had 4th and 26. I felt bad for you. I felt bad for the guys on the team, but it didn't impact me. The Seattle loss in the NFC Championship game, there was a small part of me that was like, hey, I've got kids that are 3 and 2. I'm excited to get home and not have to cover any more football games. That's how my brain works. And think about how many people were devastated by that loss in Seattle. It's just not how I'm wired. So let's let's move on.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
There is one question I want to address, though, and that is in the YouTube comments, because that's where all the action is these days. I believe it is Jack. I want to make sure it's John who said this. And look, again, I don't expect you to understand, but how does someone who is not a fan of sports become a sports writer? Great question.
Great question.
I grew up a major fan of sports. Sports were everything to me. And I lived and died with the 1982 Brewers, and I sobbed when Gorman Thomas struck out to end Game 7. Again, once you start doing this job and you're around the people...
He battled good in that at-bat. He has a good battle. He lost the battle, but he battled hard.
And in turn, the war as well. But it's just... When you do this for a long time, what moves me about this job now is the fun we have on this show and the insight that we bring to fans and the entertainment we bring. And then from the writing side of my job, it's the storytelling. It's not necessarily about the X's and O's. It really is about the Jimmies and Joes. Like spending time yesterday with Jaden Reed and with Dontavion Wicks talking about the drops, and Braden Narveson talking about his misses and how close he knew he was to being jettisoned by the Packers. That's the part of this that I love. The football part is really secondary. And it's more the people and their stories that are what's great about doing this job. So, again, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me? We will move on from this conversation. You like that one, didn't you? I love it. You know, another highlight of my day is any time that I make you legitimately laugh as opposed to courtesy laugh. That also feels like a win for me. And speaking of wins, you will be a big winner if you don't have anything going on tomorrow, or even if you do, cancel it. Because Old Boy and I are going to be at Steinhoffel's in Waukesha for a very special...
I haven't seen. Is this on my calendar? Okay.
I hope so.
Heard sure. Jesse might be there too.
Jesse asked me if I wanted him to be there, and I said yes. Was that the right answer?
Guess we'll see tomorrow.
He asked me, and I told him no, because then he has to put somebody else as a producer, and that's interesting.
Well, I said yes because I want to make sure everything is right at Steinhoffel's. We love it when we get to do the shows from their stores, and we're going to do that tomorrow from their Waukesha store. It's also great what they're doing in partnering with Special Spaces Wisconsin and with the Packers to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. Here's a reason to root for Braden Narveson to make all of his kicks. Because every time the Packers make a field goal, Steinhoffel's donates $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. So on the season now, Braden Narveson is 9 of 13, so $4,000 less than they would have liked to have donated, but $9,000 already through 4 games to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Steinhoffel's has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934. It is 100% employee-owned, and it is a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers. Again, join us tomorrow as we broadcast from Steinhoffel's in Waukesha. That is on Highway F, just south of I-94, and see Jesse and Tausch, and we'll see what other cavalcade of stars we can bring along with us. All right, we're going to get to the Packers now. I'm done talking about me not being a fan. Braden Narveson's kicking troubles solved? We'll see. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a carbless in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime, and classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbless at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbless. Less is more.
Shop Macy's VIP sale, going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-count essential everyday spring water, $3.99. 45.5 to 50-ounce selected varieties Arm & Hammer laundry, $4.99. 18.2 to 24.5 selected varieties Gordon's Fish, $4.99. 32-ounce selected varieties International Delight Creamer, 2 for $7.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
That's what we called it, or bubbler.
That's what you call it, a bubbler?
You called it bubbler.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
I say thank you as a family. He's not here to represent, but I'll say thank you.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
Okay, you know what? Let's go to the animal facts.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
All those games we had were such close games. That was the crazy part.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
All right, let's shift gears. Tausch, was there ever a time during your career where you were legitimately worried about your employment? Like, obviously, coming into the league, you're an unproven commodity, and then, you always tell that great story about Sherman asking if we should really be protecting a $100 million quarterback with a rookie 7th-round offensive lineman. But from the moment you became a starter, they trusted you. So did you ever face what Braden Narvison's facing?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I guess you'd have to ask Ron and Ted and Mike Sherman. But no, I think for the most part, I always felt like, I was a starter. And when you're a starter, if you're not playing poorly, you feel like you're going to continue to get called up to go out and play. So, no, I don't think I ever felt that way, but I will say this. You always felt like you were one bad snap or one bad game away from being
sure
on the list to be out there. And I can remember Marco would always say, if we'd be driving around and heading to practice, we'd see guys out on the construction crews or just people out working, and you'd say you're a couple bad pass sets away from that being your next job. And I think that's always a healthy mindset to have, is that if you're not performing, this business spits you out. And that's for all of us, unless you have a ton of guaranteed money. That's typically how this thing goes.
Right. So I thought Braden Arvison yesterday, there was a big group and then a smaller group. And in the smaller group, he talked, I thought it was really compelling. First of all, and I'm going to read this because I didn't send along the audio from what he said in the small group. But if I'm being honest, most places you never know if you're going to come back after a game like that. To even have a chance to go throughout the week, I'm extremely grateful for that, and I'm going to go prepare my ass off all week. I'm going to make sure that I leave everything out on the field knowing that every time I step on the grass is potentially your last time. I mean, he knows that most teams would have cut him. And that awareness, I think, is pretty important. Now, the question I would have, and you can't quite answer it because you didn't necessarily feel it the way he did, although your story with Marco is great. Like, how would you, if Braden Arvison calls the show right now and says, hey, do you have any tips for how I deal with knowing that I'm one more bad kick away from unemployment, what would you tell him?
Yeah, it's such a tough question because the thought process would be, don't think about it. Think about your process, go through and just do what you do, and try to correct your pushes to the right. But you're going to feel that pressure, so you have to figure out, how do I calm myself down and how can I put myself in the best position to be successful? Because I'm somewhat surprised that Green Bay has not done anything big in that regard because of how inconsistent Narvi has been. Mm-hmm. But hopefully you look at it from his perspective and say, these guys really believe in me. They trust that I'm going to figure it out. Now it's up to me to actually figure it out. So that would be, I think, from Goody's standpoint, Matt LaFleur's, that's the goal and the hope. But I still think that they're going to be very reluctant to go out there and kick a bunch of field goals. If there's 4th and shorts, I think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to change. I think Matt LaFleur doesn't trust him, and I think he is going to, under most circumstances, if he can, go for it. There are going to be times he's not going to be able to, if it's 4th and 6 or whatever. But I legit think the best thing for Narvi right now would be to have a 50-plus yard field goal attempt. Because and you miss a 35-yarder, 36-yarder, it is, what are we doing? If he could bang one in from 52-plus, all of a sudden it's, all right. And there's that big relief, and hopefully that will kind of propel him and get him a little bit of confidence, because right now his process isn't working. And from a player standpoint, that's really hard. You go through and you've worked hard and you've trained and you have certain things that you think you can correct. Mm-hmm. And whatever he's doing from a correcting standpoint ain't working.
So let's talk about that.
So you don't. All right.
So how would you describe your golf game? Inconsistent or good?
Oh, I
middling.
Stink now. Yeah, I'm just not very good. No, I used to be. I would say good with certain parts of my game, and then struggling with some of the other stuff.
Okay, so, but you know enough about it to know, and this was another thing that Braden talked about yesterday, you much would rather have a one-way miss that you are consistently doing than be spraying it all over the course, and one swing you're duck hooking it, the next swing you're slicing it, and it is interesting that his misses have all, including even the one that didn't count, so all 5 of them have been right. And so he kind of broke down what the issue has been, which I found, again, maybe I'm a nerd, but I found this really interesting, that apparently
You're a fan of kickers correcting themselves. Okay.
I am a fan of talking about how they're going about correcting themselves. Yes. Apparently, his plant foot is too wide from the ball. He's not getting close enough to the ball, and it's causing him to spray the ball on those misses to the right. And what I thought was interesting was that not only did Rich Bisaccia see this on film, but I still can't believe this. I'm amazed by this. I just used it with Alex Strofe on our weekly Wilde Dirty Laundry Broken Wash Machine, whatever we're calling our little show that we do together. Matt Orzech, the long snapper, noticed it first. And Matt Orzech is looking through his legs upside down and noticed this, which I thought was fascinating. So, Tausch, if you know what you're doing wrong, is that not half the battle? Does that not encourage you that maybe he could get this fixed if it's apparently the same issue every time, or no?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm getting advice from my long snapper on how to make kicks, I'm pretty nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not interested. Like if Money Matt Davenport or Vitale was sitting there and listening to Mike Schneck, who was our long snapper, or if Rob Davis was telling Mason, hey, man, I don't think you're hitting your plant leg properly and you're pushing it. And he's like, oh, thanks, Rob, or thanks, Schnecky. I'm probably thinking to myself, I don't know if we got the right cat. Like, that's just me. I'm just being honest. That's how I would think. But to answer your point, it's one thing to actually see it and to do it. It's another thing to correct it.
You're right.
And if there's you're going to look at film and your coaches are going to help you and you're going to do that, but I would worry then about the overcorrect, because in golf, if you're hitting if you're fading it and it's starting to slice more and more, you're going to probably think you're going to need to, transfer your weight quicker to get the club face through, and then all of a sudden the snap hooks come, and then if you start missing left, then you're sitting there like, oh boy. Because right now, he's comfortable kicking the way he does.
Yeah.
And if he's missing, he's like, well, I'm not missing by much. Well, then I'm going to correct that. Well, then I'm going to get snap hooky, and now I don't have any idea where the ball's going. Right now, he knows he's going to try and sneak it in that right upright, and sometimes it drifts and sometimes it doesn't. His ball goes left to right. That's what his kicks do. I want my kicker to catch it clean and, split. It'd be nice to split the uprights dead straight.
Has he done that?
I have not seen. That's where I think if you look back at the preseason with Greg the Leg, it was, he was splitting it pretty good.
Yeah.
You wonder and you worry when you're constantly tinkering and trying to correct things. I get more nervous hearing that than I am confident. And especially if Orzech is my coach. No offense, I don't know him at all.
So I guess my follow-up to that is, all these guys now have their personal kicking coaches. So they, huddle with them and they talk to them. Because, look, if we're being honest, Rich Bisaccia is not an expert in kicking either, right? I mean, he's a special teams coach, but most special teams coaches are not necessarily experts in the finer points of kicking field goals, right? Like Frank Novak, Bonamigo.
I don't know. I think obviously their scheme is more, but the ironic part of that is they're basically judged on their punting and kicking. Like, that's what special teams, obviously if you're giving up a bunch of returns, most people don't. You're a judge. Can your kicker make a clutch kick, and can your punter put it where he needs to be consistently? And I think from the punting side of it, now if Daniel Veland wants to start giving advice, well, okay. All right, Daniel, what are you seeing with the hold and everything else? But right now he has no confidence. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
And when you don't have confidence, the only way to gain confidence is by having success. And your coaches right now aren't uber trusting. They can tell me all they want, but their actions are telling me something different. So how this is going to shake out, he needs to just put a couple through, just like if you're playing in the NBA or any type of basketball. You see the ball go through the net. Yeah, all right, okay, now I see it, I feel it, I know what it looks like, I know how it feels. I'm going to continue to do that. He just needs to make a couple kicks and then hopefully go on a run. Because I think, unfortunately for him, he misses one kick this weekend. I'm still very surprised that there hasn't been any real maneuvering outside of a couple of tryouts.
Right.
And that tells me that they still think that he is their best available option, even though I don't think they like that is the case.
Yeah. And one of the guys that we told you about yesterday, and Rob Domofsky was the first to report this, even though he's still locked out of his Twitter account. One of the two kickers that they brought in for workouts has already signed elsewhere.
Arizona. Yeah,
so
Arizona,
that leaves you with Lucas Havrisik among the tryout guys still available should you choose to go that direction.
Wow. Carlson.
You know what? Speaking of that, let's check out how that poll finished yesterday. Let's do that coming up next. I think people, maybe they won't be surprised, but is this a case of, was it Cinderella that's saying, don't know what you got till it's gone? We'll discuss the poll next.
It doesn't sound like Cinderella.
All right, Riley, that was a band well before you were born. I want Cinderella, don't know what you got till it's gone, and we'll see if I was even close to how that sounded. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh. Green Bay looks to right the ship this weekend out in Los Angeles. Join me, John Anderson, and former Green Bay tackle Brian Bulaga as we get you set beginning at noon on Green Bay Game Day. Rob Domofsky, Jason Wilde will both join us as we preview Packers and Rams.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Go to the head of the class on your next vehicle purchase exclusively at the Kunis Auto Group's Back to School sales event.
Good morning, class.
Expect a straight A passing grade when you add up the savings on your next vehicle from the automotive scholars at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC, all marked down with September back-to-school discounts and savings. We're also offering incredible back-to-school discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of back-to-school service specials on everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with a test driver purchase each week in September, 4 lucky winners will win free gas for a year. All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships in both Oak Creek and Greenfield. It's the Kunis Auto Group's exclusive September back-to-school sales event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Milwaukee Brewers had to have it, and they got it. Defeated the New York Mets 5-3 in Game 2 of their NL Wildcard Series. Garrett Mitchell, the hero for the crew, smashed a tie-breaking 2-out, 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th.
Adames, the runner at first. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. It is up. It is gone. Off the top of the wall and out of here. Garrett Mitchell, a go-ahead 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning.
It's a winner-take-all Game 3 tonight between the Brewers and Mets at AmFam Field. First pitch is at 7:38. Tobias Myers on the hill from Milwaukee.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. The Crusaders are rolling.
4th and 2, Tobias Lopez takes the handoff, cuts through the middle. Not only the first down, he's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
On Friday night, Catholic Memorial is back on the road to take on New Berlin Eisenhower. Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to have enough time to get to the key line there. I might have to sing it again. The poll question that we put in the field yesterday, that Jesse put in the field yesterday, which, again, lots of great response, but I was legitimately surprised by the outcome. Our question was this: if you only have these two as your choices, who would you rather see kicking for the Packers this Sunday?
Okay.
744 votes with 1 hour to go. So I guess I could try to get us over 1,000. As of right now, your choices: Anders Carlson, Braden Narveson. 55.8% of you have said Anders Carlson.
Ooh, that narrowed.
It narrowed a little bit, but still, that is people saying they would rather have the guy you got rid of than the guy you got now. And those were the same people that were, I'm guessing, pretty down on Anders when he missed from 41 yards out with a chance to go to the NFC title game, hanging in the balance as they could have gone up by a touchdown, and he made his kick with 6 minutes to go in Santa Clara. So, Tausch, what does this tell you? That the majority of Packers fans who responded to this poll would rather have the guy they got rid of than the guy they got?
Well, I mean, the guy that they got has not been doing the job, and that's just the cold, hard reality of this business. So, I think y'all hope that when we brought Narvdog in, he was going to be better, and you want to allow time for young players to develop. And that's great at right guard like you did with Sean Ryan. That's great at quarterback like you did with Jordan Love. You don't have that luxury when you're a Super Bowl contending team. You have that luxury if you think you're going to be a 6-11 team.
Sure.
You had that luxury last year when you didn't know what you had until you got it. And that's, this team ended up becoming a playoff team. Nobody thought that.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I've said many times, I think Anders was, unfortunately, the quickness of the rebuild, reload, whatever it was, and how well they came on at the end of the year, he ended up becoming kind of a casualty because his growth was not matching the growth of Jordan Love and the rest of his football team. That put him in a tough spot, and now you've been scrambling. And they don't have an answer that they feel comfortable and good with, whereas maybe that answer is still a developing and growing Anders Carlson. I don't know if that is going to be how it shakes out, but I know this. they can say all they want about Narvdog, and maybe Narvdog's going to end up being a great kicker. I hope he is. But right now he's not. And if it comes down to the Los Angeles Rams game and there's a need to kick a game-winning field goal, I don't think many people are going to feel great about it, including the head football coach for the Green Bay Packers.
Or you. I just saw Riley shared a text, and I didn't see who it was from. The real question is, and I don't know what the projection is currently, but Sam in Kenosha, the real question is Old T taking the more on Prize Picks with Narvdog?
That's
if it's
a great question.
1.5 field goals.
So he's been good for me. I've won 2 of my entries with Narvdog. And unfortunately, last week was not one of those weeks. It was just, I felt really good when he lined up for the first kick. Oh, he makes this one. It's early in the game. Should be no problem because I kind of, here's how my mind works. Jordan's going to struggle a little bit. They're going to probably get some drives choked off, and Narvdog's going to make a couple kicks. Well, it's not how it shook out, and I don't feel great about that because I still don't necessarily know he's going to be kicking on Sunday. I still don't buy it.
So you really think they could make a change late in the week? What makes you, help us out here? What makes you say that? Because I feel like if you were going to make the change, you would have made it yesterday, so you would have more time with the operation with Lucas Havrick instead of the Narvdog.
They got the foreign exemption player.
Yes,
right?
the international player, pathway player, which is kind of sketchy because, yes, he's from Australia, but he's not like they had previously where they brought, and now I'm blanking on his name, which I don't feel great about. Alex Hale kicked for 4 years at Oklahoma State. The skipper was here the whole time. The idea that he is technically their IPP player, it does mean, though, that he is not eligible to be called up like Kenneth Odemegwu, there you go, who had never played organized football before until Osi Umenyiora came to Nigeria. He kicked in college football, but he is not eligible to be promoted from the practice squad to the active roster because he's the IPP guy. So they have to release him / sign him to the 53. And then go through the process of releasing him, et cetera.
You have to be on the 53, and typically it's practice squad guys that get elevated. And Green Bay has had multiple kickers on the practice squad. I mean, the odds would tell you that since they haven't made a move, it's going to be Narvi. But if Narvi struggles in practice, players see that. I wouldn't rule anything out yet. That's why I haven't even looked at on Prize Picks yet. As far as if he's available and if they got his projections down.
0.5 misses. You going more or fewer?
I'll go more on that because that's just been his staple. But I hope that he goes out there and that it's a nice game for him and that his confidence is built because, frankly, I'm sick of talking about kickers.
Yeah.
If I'm just being honest with you.
It's hey.
a component to the game, but it is – Green Bay struggling with it, and it's definitely something that they should be concerned about.
Well, then talk about something you love talking about, Coors Light, and that'll balance out the universe.
That was the big Brewer game tonight at 6. I can assure I will have a Coors Light ready to roll, brewed with that 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill in those mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans. They'll be blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Suburbs Monthly Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour, we'll circle back to a little bit of Brewers conversation at some point, and there's some other aspects of this, including getting Tausch's view of kind of the conversation we had yesterday at Lambeau Field with Jason Rebrovich about the limited production from his guy and from your guy, Rashawn Gary. We'll talk about that at some point during the 10 o'clock hour as well. So stick around. We'll be back in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde letting you know that Tausch and I are going to be out at Steinhafels in Waukesha on Friday doing our show live. Steinhafels is celebrating its 90th anniversary with its biggest, best brands, best prices sale. Take 10% off all their best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special orders. And with Steinhafels' 18-month 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. So stop by and say hi this Friday as we broadcast from Steinhafels in Waukesha, right off I-94 on Highway F.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle Preston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Begins now. And I'm being told that we have a special guest in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios.
Is Dunzo's daddy in the house?
George, the old usher at Miller Park? No. Robin Yount getting ready to throw out the first pitch?
Oh,
no.
That'd be great.
Jesse Nelson, what are you doing here?
Hey!
How many Greater Bucky Open shirts have you accumulated, by the way?
3. And so I've got a red one, a black one, and a white one. Obviously, the black one got the job done yesterday, so I said I'm going to run it back until they lose. So let's keep going with the Greater Bucky Open shirts. That was the good luck charm. None of the Brewers shirts worked. The GBO got it done.
So you, first of all, what are you, seriously, what are you doing here?
Great question. Very strange situation today.
Well, Piscataway was a clean sweep, as they've. I was listening to some of it yesterday. Yeah, so you got to bed early, so maybe you could get up, right?
300th win at Wisconsin for head coach Kelly Sheffield last night. Congratulations to him.
How many wins for John Arias?
More than that, because he started before Kelly. But we have an electrician coming over today to our house to install
Is it Mark Neitzel, Gabe Neitzel's dad?
It is not. Where they're installing 5 ceiling fans for us. So we're doing like a whole overhaul of ceiling fans. But they didn't give us an actual time they would be there. They just said Thursday.
How big is your house? Who has 5? That seems like an inordinate amount of ceiling fans.
It actually flies. Levitates off its wall.
That's what we're hoping it will become. It's going to become the house from Up with the hot air balloons.
Well, you are the kid from Up, as we've established.
Yeah, wearing hats. Yeah. But I got a text this morning that said no one's available yet, so it's going to be a little while. And I'm like, well, okay. So I had a couple of things I wanted to get done. The dog was kind of bothering me, so I said I'll come into the studio. So here we are. So thanks, Riley, for filling in. Thought I would be pretty occupied all day today, and it turns out I have no idea when I'm going to be occupied.
Just happy to help.
I really hope this doesn't interfere with a 6:08 first pitch tonight if this thing goes past 5 p.m. now, because that's going to be irritating if electrician Joe is trying to put all these fans in while I'm trying to get amped up for first pitch tonight.
Well, I am curious, since you're here, first of all, I love the fact that you managed to finagle your way out of producing the show, and now we basically have a 3-man booth, and you're now co-hosting the show.
I'm in my volleyball chair. I love this chair, my volleyball chair.
And the microphone doesn't break.
And I'm joining you guys at Steinhoffel's in Waukesha tomorrow, so that'll also be like a 3-man booth.
You know what's so funny? Jesse will ask, like, hey, should I do this? And I said, no, you don't want to. Just stay home. Don't put it on another producer. But I'm convinced it all comes down to food. You know, with Steinhoffel's, you always end up with great donuts, and there's all, Danny and the great team, they always bring stuff, or Jason brings something, or whatever it might be. And I'm convinced, even though Jesse is sleek with his 35-pound weight loss, I think that's why he's coming.
For the donuts?
Fair? Yeah.
Donuts not on the approved foods list with Madison weight loss.
That's surprising.
For the time being. Yeah. Not on the list.
I think that'd be healthy.
Well,
all right,
sure
so Jesse, you
kale.
watched the game, and we already went through this whole thing with Jason. We're definitely not going to revisit that.
Thank the Lord.
You wrote off the Brewers. You wrote them off. You're sending out Dunzo texts last night.
Wasn't
You
full
sent out a Dunzo tweet. You had him warming up in the cloud
He was creeping up. He wasn't warmed up yet. He was creeping up. It was just the top of his head. He was surfacing. Dunzo was surfacing after they went down early 3-1, but undaunted, battled back. Oh, man, what a win that was last night. That was so fun.
Okay, you were daunted, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, admit it.
Oh,
you were
for
daunted.
Sure. Yeah. The entire game, I was daunted until the bottom of the 8th inning. Yeah. When they got the run with Willie Adames that made it 3-2, I thought, now get done. He's out of here, Riley. No Dunzo.
Thought he was warming up.
I don't see him anywhere. Does anyone? No, he sat back down. I tweeted out after the game that we threw a baseball at him and closed the door on him. We kicked him out. Dunzo's not around anytime soon.
No, I didn't see that. I don't follow you.
Well, you should. It was a pretty good tweet, I thought. It's pretty funny.
I always know that you'll retweet it for the Wilde and Tausch account anyway.
I did retweet it for the Wilde and Tausch account.
This is my best stuff. Everybody's got to see it.
It was pretty good. I think a lot of people liked it. A lot of people. What were we talking? Oh, when they were down 3-1.
Who are you, Tausch?
Now, when they were down 3-1, I was incredibly nervous when they were down 3-1, and I thought this thing was over. And then they get the run back, and you thought, okay, one run. Anyone can hit a home run to tie the game. Anyone can, have a triple or a double that puts someone in scoring position. Like, one run doable. Bullpen, fantastic job last night because that was the key to it. Like, Frankie Montas didn't have it last night. Bullpen had to come in and preserve the 3 runs that the Mets had scored without giving up anything more, and they did. That was amazing, and that's a lot of what kept the Brewers in that game. And then Jackson Chourio, what a heater.
Wasn't it 1-1 after the first inning?
It was, and then 3-1 pretty quickly after that. I don't know if it was the second or the third. We were doing a volleyball match at the same, so I was kind of like half watching that, half watching.
Did you drink too much coffee this morning?
No.
He's jacked up.
My electrolyte. This is what happens when you're a fan, Jason. You get super excited about big days like this when you're nervous for a winner-take-all situation.
Oh,
that's true.
I wouldn't know.
Jason doesn't have to worry about that. So, Jesse, since you're a Brewers expert today on our show,
oh man,
what's the plan tonight? What is our plan tonight? Pitching? How are we approaching this? versus in a do or die scenario?
I have no idea. I don't know. Tobias Myers is the projected starter who has been pretty good throughout the course of the year. But it's going to be all hands on deck. It's going to be similar to last night. If Tobias Myers doesn't have it early, you got to get him out of there. There's no waiting to see if you can figure this out in a do-or-die situation. There is no tomorrow. So if he doesn't have it after one inning, after 2 innings, you go bullpen and you bring in.
How many more cliches can you put in?
That's not cliche. Well, it might be cliche, but that's what it is.
There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
All hands on deck.
Yar, matey.
You have to. You cannot go down 3 runs like you did or give up 3 runs like you did last night.
You can't go down with the ship.
You can't go down with the ship. All hands on deck. Survive in advance. Yes, that you have to go inning by inning, out by out, and that's what makes. When you said the other day to Evan and he poo-pooed that playoff baseball is so fun. This is what makes it so exciting and unlike anything else, because this is not like the 162 games that were played in the regular season. This is, if your starting pitcher doesn't have it in 2/3 of an inning early on, you yank them. And you figure out who's next up, and you play the matchups throughout the entire night. That is what this is all about tonight. I think the Brewers have all the momentum after last night's win. If I'm the Mets, I don't know how you come back from this. I feel like if the Brewers, it's all about scoring early, jump out in front, take control of the game, don't play from behind like they've played in a lot of the playoff games that they've been part of. And if that's the case, I feel really good about where they're at if they score first tonight.
That's our Brewers insider, Jesse Nelson, in his Greater Bucky Open shirt, breaking it down. Yeah, I'm sure the Mets are just done so. I mean, if you were doing a New York ESPN New York show, I mean, I don't know if they'd allow Dunzo on the air, but like the idea that they're just going to pack it in now. Come on.
No, they're not going to pack it in, but how many lives do you have? I mean, against the Braves, they had that crazy game on Monday afternoon where they had to come back and win just to get into the playoffs at all. Like, how many lives does the team have? Like, after last night, it's got to be just
mental. There is no doubt. We hope that the mental exhaustion and just being worn out from all the drama and energy that they've had to expend. We hope with the freshness, or at least the fact that we haven't, but. Playoff baseball is a different animal. Obviously, getting off to a good start and whose bullpen and all. Whose bullpen is better is going to win this game today. That's how this is going to shake.
You tell me, Tausch, because you're the former athlete around here, and I was just a competitive bowler
That's
for a
true.
few years, 5th place at state. When you have, thank you. When you have a crushing loss, and then less than 24 hours later, you have to come back and try and overcome that with everything on the line. When you were like getting the champagne ready in the locker room to advance with 6 outs to go, how does that impact
football?
an athlete?
It's not as fair from a football standpoint. But what I will tell you is this: you only have a certain amount of emotional energy before your tank runs dry. And if you want to just start looking back at some historic great wins, you could look at the Minneapolis Miracle that the Vikings had, right? Up there, nobody thought. You celebrate a ton after a big win, and then you go up to Philadelphia and get your brakes beat in. I think one of the more underlooked things in that Badgers Final Four run was the emotional energy, and, man, from a fan standpoint, you're up all night on that Saturday night celebrating the heck out of beating the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats. And if you don't think there was a little residue that came into that where the Duke Blue Devils had a cakewalk win against Michigan State, and they got to their hotel, watched that game, were in bed, and we're pounding Coors Lights at the Omni Hotel with the team floating up in the bell, and everybody is just rip-roaring, having a great old time. Did that emotional energy, was that the difference, or was it Coach K, getting after the officials? You can make it both ways, but there was no doubt there was more emotional energy spent from our end. So, yes, that momentum and that good vibes is great, but there's also the physical component to having all of that energy used, and that I don't think is going to be in play, because it wasn't like Milwaukee was dumping beers and emptying the bucket. They knew they had another game to win, and that's tonight. So I think the Mets have spent a lot. And in baseball, when you do that, you don't have arms available. There is a difference. Milwaukee is definitely favored tonight because I think they have not had to do what the Mets have had to do this week. That's how I would draw that up.
So I am reading on Brewers.com from Adam McAlvey and Anthony DiComo. Tonight's starting pitcher for the Mets is Jose Quintana, who is described by Brewers.com a longtime Brewers nemesis. So Jesse, as our Brewers expert, how has Jose Quintana been a Brewers nemesis while you're breaking down this pitching matchup so expertly?
He played for the Cubs for a while. I think he pitched for the Cardinals for a bit. And for whatever reason, the Brewers have struggled against Quintana over time. That is an excellent description of Jose Quintana. He is a nemesis. He's not quite a Brewer killer, I would say, because we've gotten to him a few times, but he's been one of over the last decade, starting pitchers the Brewers have faced as an organization. He's got to be near the top of the list of like all-time starts. Like Adam Wainwright would be in that conversation. Quintana, Riley's gonna chime in here.
I was just gonna say, I feel like Quintana, either the Brewers score nothing, like he's an absolute ace, or they shell him.
We've rocked him a couple of times.
It's gonna be one of two. The Brewers are either scoring nothing on him today, or they're dropping like a 10-piece.
Brewers nemesis, great way to describe him.
Tobias Myers will be the starter, at least expected to be the starter for Pat Murphy and the Brewers. All right. Jesse, you cobbled together a Did You Hear This of the 8th inning last night. I think I'm biased, but our friend Jeff Levering met the moment. I'm not sure about the others, but we will hear all three as part of a Did You Hear This? And then we'll get back to the Packers again, because I know that's why many of you come here. But want to remind you, and again, I tell you this all the time, and I mean it, I hope you never have to make the call, because that means you've never been seriously injured in an accident. But if you are, one call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com, find out more about the firm, about all the great lawyers that they have on their team, and most importantly, what they do in our communities for the last 35-plus years. Again, Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all, 414-276-6666. A little Did You Hear This? Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied. Jackson Chourio, his first postseason fly ball. Right field. It is deep. It is gone. We are tied in the 8th inning on the second home run night. Right center field. It is up. It is gone. Garrett Mitchell, go ahead, 2-run home run. 2-2 pitch. Lined out towards left center. Chourio is there. Game 3 is on the way tomorrow.
Blue October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away, and once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at MoTUSA.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 12-pack of 20-ounce bottles of Water Joe at your local Pick and Save or Metro Market. 2 for $10 now until October 12th. Simply purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. A great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drink. Get that 12-pack of 20-ounce of Water Joe for $10 through October 12th at your local Pick and Save or Metro Market locations. Hydrate and energize with Water Joe.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is October 13th. If your family is interested in becoming part of the CMH tradition, make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 13th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. As the only school awarded the Exemplary Award for Academic Excellence by the Archdiocese, find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet faculty and coaches, learn about all the clubs and extracurricular activities. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn it back around. And I don't want to leave you alone.
Continuing with the Jesse Nelson Hour on Wilde and Tausch. Jesse, how long are you staying?
That's the fun of this. Like, I literally don't know. I might get a text at any point that says, we'll be there in 20 minutes, and I got to get out of here and run home.
Fun for who?
Me, I guess. Riley might be having fun with it. I don't know. I will probably depart after this segment because I got a couple other things to take care of off the air, and then I'm going to probably go back home.
Sure. I understand. All right. Well,
hey, quick question. So you're wearing this GBO shirt, and again, we love going out to the Greater Bucky Open. We've been doing it for years. If you're looking to be superstitious, you wear the same shirt, man.
Yes.
You don't see baseball players. If they're wearing the same underpants, that's like the deal. You don't get to change out and get fresh. Like, that's the whole point of a superstition.
Why would you put that out there?
What are you doing?
Why would you do that? Why would you
you're
already
the one
set
who
this up?
thought you could get away with this.
It's not getting away with it. It's the same shirt in 3 different variations. There's a white one, a red one, and a black one. I wore the black one yesterday.
We understand that.
We're going to ride with
saying you won. You're saying the Milwaukee Brewers won because you're wearing a certain shirt.
Well, no,
so
what I said.
Wear the shirt.
I didn't say they won because I wore that particular shirt. I said they won because I didn't wear any of my unlucky Brewers shirts. The Brewers shirts, I'd cycled through all of them, devastating loss after devastating loss. This, I just wanted something different. So here we go with something different that worked. So we're going to keep riding with the different situation for good luck.
Who decides the rules of superstitions?
Apparently Jesse.
That's a great question.
I think the person who's doing the action on it decides. I don't need old T's commentary on my superstition.
I think you would acknowledge that you're on some shaky, superstitious ground here.
Yeah. I mean,
why didn't you just wear? If you really thought this, if you wanted to be superstitious,
dude,
wear the same shirt as yesterday.
Since I might have some extra time on my hands, maybe I'll go home, do a load of laundry,
Too
get
late
the shirt
now.
clean, and we're good to go.
No, you can't wash it.
He's rubbing it in.
First pitch, 6:08. We're fine. I got plenty of time.
I don't think you can wash it.
Jesse, is Jackson Chourio the top 3 Wisconsin
What are you
athlete
doing right now? What is this? We're going to ask Jesse the question.
Jesse is he's our guest today. He's our guest.
Can we call the Badgers radio analyst too and have him come on the show later?
No, we don't want to discuss all that.
Let's see if they beat Purdue this week. Is Jackson Chourio a top 3 star in Wisconsin sports right now? Jordan Love is number 1. Giannis is number 2. And
First off, Giannis is number 1. Get out of here.
No. Packers are king, and Giannis.
This is what you get when you ask.
Stock is down with Giannis right now. Giannis is number 2. Jordan Love is number 1 in the state of Wisconsin.
Jordan Love hasn't even won a game this season.
Hey, I just got a text. I just got a text. Your electrician's at the house. Time for you to go.
Keith Neitzel.
Get your
Why are you
dryers
getting the text?
fixed. Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know. There's a lot of texts going around that you don't want to get at this point.
I'm probably.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, because now that we've been getting after Slim Boy there, we need to get to Did You Hear This?
Did you?
Because I do think it would be fun to hear those. So, Jesse, you have Riley's and my permission to stay for one more segment so we can do Did You Hear This?
Wow, what an honor. You guys are the best.
But you got to take off that shirt.
No. I'm not going to do that.
Hey, so now, I think now,
weight,
Jesse,
but
now
not that
that you're skinny and you've lost all this weight, it's time you pay the bet to Brust and Scalzo's old show. That's just how this has got to go. Because I understand you're a heavier set. You don't want to get in your stuff.
Tell people what the bet is for those that are unaware.
Jesse has to wash Scalzi's car in a banana hammock.
For losing the bowl off with Brust, I had to wash Brust's car, and the bet was in a swimsuit. In a swimsuit was the bet and the terms agreed to. We have it on video, and suddenly when Brust wins, he comes strutting in after he wins the bowl off, and then he goes, he has to do it in a Borat Speedo. That's what he has to do it. He's changing the terms of the agreement. And I've always said, I'll do it anytime when Brust wants to drive his car up to my house in Sun Prairie. I'll plug the hose right in and wash it right out in the front yard. Anytime he wants to drive that car up, I will wash that anytime he wants me to.
Okay, so if Brust comes to Steinhoffel's tomorrow, since you're coming,
in the parking
you
lot.
will wash his car in your banana hammock tomorrow. Brusty, I know you listen. Come on out to Steinhoffel's in Waukesha. We'll bring a bucket of suds, and Jesse Nelson's going to be washing your car.
Yeah,
That's
at
the deal.
12:05 after I leave.
I don't know if we'll have
it's
access
Digio.
to. I don't know. I know Steinhoffel's has great sofas.
No,
and love
Danny already
seats
texted. She said that there going to be plenty of water options.
You have a lot of time on your phone during this show. It's a lot of text rolling into old T's phone.
All right, we're going to play Did You Hear This and try and wipe that image, even with the slimmed down Jesse Nelson, out of our memory banks. I do have one great thing in my memory bank, though, and that was when Tausch worked a shift with Johnson and Sons Paving. That was a great moment. I hope we do it again, only on my driveway next time.
Yeah, get ready for spring now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving. Make sure no pavement hazards get worse over this winter that's coming. Potholes, cracked curbs, drainage issues. If things are bad now, call Johnson & Sons Paving. Get it fixed today. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote and a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that needs to be by spotting fatigue cracking. That's the worst of all the cracking. Standing water, warping, buckling, sinking pavement, and more. Don't scare away customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now and save money later. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Did you hear this? The 8th inning edition. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, without further ado, before Jesse no longer is gracing us with his presence, Riley, let's do a little Did You Hear This?
Consider it the radio version of a conversation at the water cooler. It's time for Did You Hear This on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, fellas. So we had 3 calls.
Oh, I didn't know you were taking this over. I thought Riley was doing it.
I thought that's what the entire point of me being here was for.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This, what a weird deal today. It's a weird deal.
I agree.
I had no control over this. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks, Riley. All right, I'm leading it. There were 3 calls last night of the home run hit by Garrett Mitchell to give the Brewers the 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's begin with our guy, Boog Shambi.
Wilde's guy.
What are the odds that we were talking on yesterday's show about what if Boog gets to capture one of the iconic moments in Brewers franchise history? And he may have just done that last night. The voice of the Cubs on ESPN.
He swings and drives one out towards right center. Taylor back, and it's gone! Mitchell, a 2-run homer, and the Brewers have the lead. It's 5-3, and this place has come unglued.
What do we think? 1 to 10 scale. What do we give that, Tausch?
For a national guy that does the Cubs network, I would give him a 6. I mean, he told you what happened. He had excitement. It wasn't like he said, "Oh, and he hit it out. It's over the fence and it's a home run," and the Brewers take the lead. So I give him. It's not going to be as good as what we're going to hear, obviously, but I don't think it's as bad as some folks are saying, and I'm guessing what Jason is going to say.
Yeah, I give it about a 3. Not that great. And I might be being generous.
Riley?
I'd go in between that, a 5. For Boog Shambi, it was solid, but it sounds, I'm pretty sure I've heard that call in MLB The Show like 37 times. So it's a 5.
On the Boog curve, it's a 9. But yeah. I was actually expecting worse, so I'm going to give it like a 6 or a 7 with Tausch. It was actually better than what I thought it would be, but it wasn't stellar. Let's see how it compares to the other 2.
Did you hear this?
The other one was heard nationally everywhere the game was carried over terrestrial radio and on the ESPN app. Mike Cousins on the national ESPN radio call. This is the one that I heard live.
Was he a sub for somebody else?
He was nice. Mike Cousins, a sub on the call on ESPN radio. Not sure he knew it was a home run right away.
2 down, runner at first, 3-3 game. He strokes it out to right center field. Taylor is back. He's at the wall, and it bounces over the fence. That's out of here. It's a 2-run go-ahead home run for Garrett Mitchell. The Brewers look like they might have been down and out, and Milwaukee takes a 5-3 lead over the Mets in the last of the 8th inning.
Put that guy on the TV broadcast.
I mean, he's pretty good. I've listened to him each of the last 2 days at different. He's pretty good. Cousin sub. But I think he saw it wrong.
What's wrong with radio? Radio is a much better medium, in my opinion, for baseball than what Boog. I think I'd rather do that nationally radio than what Boog's doing.
So how much do we fault the Cousins sub for saying it bounces over the wall and it's out of here? It's a home run.
Why would you fault that? He's doing play-by-play. That is what happened. What do you want him to do?
I think he thought it bounced in front of the wall and it was a double. I think he misidentified that it was a home run, which is a tough spot.
It's a tricky area of the ballpark, though, right?
It is.
Chourio's home run goes into the bullpen. Very clear.
Did he say it short hopped the wall and it's going to be a double, or did he say?
Riley, play it again for old T.
Oh, now we're telling Riley what to do from our host seat.
Tausch, listen to where he says this as it bounces over the wall.
Runner at first, 3-3 game. He strokes it out to right center field. Taylor is back. He's at the wall, and it bounces over the fence. That's out of here.
He didn't know it was a home run, which is okay.
No, I think he was waiting because, by the way, if it rolls back into play, because it hits the yellow line, is it a home run?
Over the yellow line is a home run, yes.
What if it hits the yellow line and lands back on the field?
If it hits the yellow line and bounces back, it's not over the yellow line. It would be technically by
so it was close.
So that's what he was describing.
Right?
That's what I heard. The more you're telling me this, I'm thinking about giving him a 10. I thought it was really good. He described what happened right down to a T and then summarized it beautifully.
After hearing the Cousins sub on radio, would you like to change your answer on Boog? Because I think he makes Boogs look way lamer now. So I'm going to give him...
Boog is not a fan. Boog is trying to call it down the... Boog is you.
Neither is Cousins.
You are Boog.
Wilde,
You're Boog. I might start calling you Boog, Wilde. You and Boog, both smug, not fans, not overly excited about great events in sports. It's more, I'm just a storyteller. You and the Boog. I think that could be a fun little pod. Wilde and Boog. I think the excitement, you want to feel it, but if you're a national guy, you don't want to show favoritism one way or the other. Mike Cousins' sub wasn't doing that. He was describing what he saw. I think he did a great job. I'm giving him a 9. A strong 9.
Yeah, I was going to give him a 9 because I'm saving my 10 for our guy, Jeff Levering.
I thought he captured it great with an 8. It just he just couldn't tell it was a home run at first. That'll happen.
You thought he hit a ground rule double, is what you thought.
Yeah, he thought it was a ground rule double, I believe.
That's how you interpreted what he said he thought.
So tonight, if you want to watch on TV, you can mute the TV with Boog, and you can turn on Wisconsin On Demand or the ESPN app, and you can stream anywhere in the world Mike Cousins sub on the call on ESPN Radio.
I want my guy Levering.
Unless, of course, you want Jeff Levering, our buddy who joined us a week ago on this show from Pittsburgh. Jeff Levering on the call on our sister station, the Brewers Network flagship, 620 WTMJ.
Did you hear this?
Adames, the runner at first. The pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. It is up and is gone! Off the top of the wall and out of here! Garrett Mitchell, a go-ahead two-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Again, that's on 620 WTMJ, our sister station. On 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee tonight, you will hear the Brewers Radio Network broadcast of Brewers-Mets NL Wildcard Game 3. He also went off the top of the wall.
Isn't that what the ball did?
Yeah.
The ball hit off the top of the wall and went over.
So
if you don't have a TV and you're listening to the radio, you want someone to tell you what happened.
You're digging him for telling us what happened.
Levering knew it right away that it was. He goes, there was no stutter. Off the top of the wall and it's out of here. He said it right away. Cousins had a little stutter step to make sure.
Can you blame the national guy though? If you don't watch games at Miller Park, there's such a short distance. American Family Field, apologies. The distance between the green wall behind the yellow line is so short. It bounces bounces right off the green wall and back onto the field. If you don't see that every day, it makes sense why you'd hesitate.
You are right. I am a stickler for it because that is my...
Because you're a great announcer.
That is my dad's old section where I used to sit at games all the time when Usher George was holding it down for a solid 15 years at what was then known as Miller Park. Levering's was awesome.
That electrician text you yet? Let's get these ceiling fans put in. Oh, jeez. I'm going to be honest. I'm watching it, and I wasn't sure. I was going to keep running because you don't know, as the lead runner there, get moving. I think it was Adames, right? Get your butt moving because the last thing you want to do is think that it's a home run. It happened quick. Both guys on radio described it beautifully in their own way. The ball bounced off the top of the wall. You let that, and then I am a big fan of letting a moment breathe, and I thought Levo did that beautifully. So I think he is a fantastic announcer. I think he captured that moment beautifully for Milwaukee Brewers fans, and I'm giving him a 10 for how he did it.
Yeah, it's a 10 for me as well.
Levo.
So while Jesse's... I have, as Tausch likes to call it, a dilemma And I don't think I can make it work because I have 2 children competing in separate sports at separate locations tonight. And Paula's got to go to one, and I have to go to the other. But 2 of my best friends in the world, 2 of my best friends from college, have extra tickets for tonight's game. So a show that began with me saying I'm not a fan. I mean, I love Phil Aiello and Michael Cotter. They are 2 of my absolute best friends. They're both in my wedding, and now they have an extra ticket to the game.
What's going to happen here, though? I've heard this movie play out before.
You've heard it on the radio with my cousins on the call.
We have all been witnesses.
I'm going to inquire on the logistics of if we can pull this off, because it would be fun to see those guys and cheer like a fan in Game 3. But how ironic.
Odds of you going less than 1%. Free ticket, Game 3.
Ticket.
Legendary game with your best buddies that you never see. That have
I do never see them.
And I'm still putting it at less than 1%.
Prize Picks 0.5% chance.
We don't do it like that at Prize Picks. But
works,
I would take the less on that, and I think I'd win. Because that's just how Jason rolls. Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 10 million users. Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And all you do, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. I'm going tonight, no runs in the first inning. I think it's going to be 0. I'm going less on that. I think we're going to see a tight game with not a lot of runs. Get in on the daily action with your buddies. If you're not going to go to the game and you're going to go watch pickup soccer, you could do that. The Prize Picks community, now you win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the best way to win real cash during the football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your sports opinions, I just gave you mine, into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play for $5. You don't even need to win, and you still get the $50 bonus. Download the app today. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Use code WI again to get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run
your
game.
Jackson Chourio, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
Okay.
We want to take more on that?
He's hot. He's hot. I'm going less on the innings. I'm going to do that. And I don't know if they're putting it up there for pitching. I don't think you're going to see a ton of strikeouts tonight either. So I'm going to have to dabble at the rest of it. But I'm definitely going first inning, no runs. That I'm definitely going to go with.
Are you available to go to the game with Phil and Mike? They'd love to have you, I'm sure.
I can't get my head wrapped around how you think. I can't.
All right, so there are only 2 of us, okay? We don't have grandparents involved. We don't have other options. Yeah. I got one kid in a varsity cross-country.
You have friends, parents of the other kids, and your kids are very popular. Let me put it to you this way. If you really want to go, you'd go. You don't really want to go.
I am going to inquire with Paula right now in this commercial break.
I would bet that Sid or Maddie will have a friend that will say, "Oh, we'd love to bring them home after the game." You can do that. You never ask. I'm sure you help out with other families.
I do never ask.
You
That's
can
true.
definitely do that, but you don't want to.
If I'm not mistaken, tonight is the 3rd ever winner-take-all playoff game in Brewers franchise history at home. Because they had the Angels
Arizona, they had one a couple years ago, right? Or
no, because they faced the
2011.
Game 7 was against the Dodgers, where it was winner take all, winner advances, loser goes home.
That was a good one.
Dodgers in 2018 and the Angels in 82.
Yeah,
are the only other 2.
There was a Game 5 because I remember sitting at Hooters watching. It was right after I got done playing. 2011. Yeah, I was at Hooters drinking Coors Light.
Oh, yes,
with my buddies after.
Arizona.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I remember it vividly because it was, wow, this is awesome. We just got done playing golf. We got to Hooters. It was like the seventh inning, and it was just a great blanking game.
It was extra.
And I remember thinking, gosh, being a fan is awesome. Not, oh, my God, this is devastating if they lose this game. I'm chugging Coors Lights thinking, this is pretty dang good living.
How are the wings?
And then I think we ended up getting beat the next series. Niger Morgan had a big hit, if I remember right.
Throw up the
So you think I would forget? That's why I'm so dumbfounded by Wilde. Here I'm telling you about sucking down a Coors Light at Hooters, and it just blows my mind. It's
the
never hard.
Fourth time in franchise history they have a home winner-take-all game, and you're going to say, nah, I'm going to soccer practice.
It's not all right. It's game. They both have games. One's got a. All right. Tausch has brought up a good point about finding maybe a parent that we can trust with our child from her volleyball match. I will inquire. I think it's higher than 1%.
No way. Oh, you think it's higher than 1?
I mean, not a lot higher.
Maybe 4.
All right, let's since Jesse has really contributed brilliantly to the Jesse Nelson Hour, let's play trivia before he goes, and then we'll have some more time to work with once Jesse's gone for the 11 o'clock hour to get to Dontavion Wicks, to get to Jordan Love. Because remember, most of you come here for Packers conversation. All right, what's today's category? Do I need to ask Jesse or Riley at this point?
Ask Riley. I feel bad that I took his segment away here.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't. I'll tell you. Today's trivia category is Brewers' backs against the wall. Speaking of historic moments in Brewers franchise history.
What restaurant was Tausch at during the decisive Game 5? What T plush came through in the clutch?
Were the other restaurants full, or like what?
They got good wings, or something. All right,
good Friday afternoon specials at Hooters.
They got supple wings, that's for sure. It's very supple.
All right, let's play trivia. Caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 10 to play Wilde and Tausch trivia. We will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. New manager.
We're going to band together and we'll have these guys ready to compete.
New team.
Chourio, a grand slam.
Same old crew.
Williams, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss by William Contreras.
Another 3-run home run for Willie Adames.
It's playoff baseball season.
Believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
The hunt for Brew October on 94.5 ESPN is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is with me. So someone suffers a sports injury and walks into OAW. What's next?
In some cases, setting them up with a sports therapist through our facility and seeing if they can get back into what they want to do without surgery. And then in other cases, when we see them back, we follow them along. You're not assessing just their injury, you're assessing the patient. You want to understand their expectations, and based on that, that's where you go down a treatment algorithm to get them back into what they want to do.
Is it tough to take into account the human aspect of things and not just focus on the injury?
I think it's very challenging. And like I said, you have to be invested in the people you take care of to understand where they're coming from and what their expectations are. They just can't be a number and look at, say, an MRI and say, well, you have this, then we're going to do this. I think in every single circumstance, you have to take into account everything that you have and assess the patient, understand where they're coming from and what their expectations are.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Save big money on everything now at Menards. Prepare and protect your boats and recreational vehicles for the colder weather with RV and Marine Antifreeze. Its burst-proof protection is formulated to defend freezing temperatures down to -50 degrees. Protect your investments and get a gallon today at Menards. Don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Trivia. And what do you know? Yet another first-time contestant. It is Miles from Tomorrowland in Cottage Grove. Not Tomorrowland, but a great show, by the way, on Disney Channel. Miles, good morning. How are you?
Jason, if you don't go to the game tonight, this will be the last time I'm listening to your show.
Wow.
Yeah, that's okay. We got other listeners.
Oh, come on.
If you're not going, then I'll take the ticket. I'll take the ticket.
Yeah, Phil and Cotter will love to have you. I just got done talking to Paula. We're not very good at asking for help. We are kind of the fiercely independent parents. We're the ones that help other people who need their kid.
Wilde, it takes a community.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it takes a village to get me to the Brewers game.
The cliche hour continues.
So we are working on it. We have not flat out said no, but I want to get back to Michael in a timely manner because I got one in a varsity cross country meet at 5:20. I got another in a volleyball match at 5. We can't be in both places at once. It's not ideal. Worst night possible for this to happen. At 9 o'clock first pitch, I'm going. 6:08, a little challenging.
It sounds like she can just run home. She'll be fine.
Yeah, not in today's world. But that's another discussion for another show. Hey, let's get to trivia. Jesse, are you participating in this, or am I asking all the questions?
Tausch went missing. He's gone fishing for the segment. So, yeah, I'll participate. I'd be happy to.
All right, Jesse's going to take question 2. I'll take the first and the third question. And the first question, Miles, is this. The Milwaukee Brewers won 3 consecutive games at County Stadium when facing elimination in the 1982 ALCS to advance over which opponent and reach the World Series? Was it the then California, now Anaheim Angels, the Oakland Athletics, or the Durham Bulls?
B.
You're going Oakland Athletics.
I was born in 1982.
The California Angels, Doug DeSensei, Don Baylor, all when you were
Rod
just
Carew.
a little baby. Rod Carew, good one,
No,
yes.
I was born in December of 1982.
So you weren't even here yet. Yeah, well
you're
bad
alive
news for
when
you.
the movie Just a Bit Outside has been in theaters, so you can check your local listings to go find it. That's where I learned.
Yeah, too late for you, though, because you got that one wrong. All right, Jesse, you got question 2.
All right, Miles, which former Brewers outfielder, now playing for the New York Yankees, committed a costly error in right field, which led to Milwaukee losing the 2019 NL wildcard game to the eventual World Series champion Washington Nationals? I know you were born for this one. Is it Tyrone Taylor, Trent Grisham, or Hernan Perez?
Trent Grisham.
Sounded like a guess, but a good guess. You are correct. Trent Grisham.
Jesse, now judging the manner in which you answer the question. I'm really going to be sad when the Jesse Nelson hour comes to a close. All right, question 3, Miles. Let's get another one.
One step closer to getting those fans installed.
The rare miss the first, get the last 2 right. Let's see if we can pull it off here. Question 3, and it is not about that memorable 2011 elimination game that Tausch watched at Hooters.
Probably should have asked what about T. Plush if I really wanted. Would have been a good one.
Question 3 is this. Which Brewers pitcher started Game 7 of the 2018 NLCS against the Los Angeles Dodgers? With a berth in the World Series on the line, was it on the bump, as Riley likes to put it, Wade Miley, Ulysse Chassin, or Brandon Woodruff, who was the starter in Game 7 in 2018?
I should know this, but I'm guessing again. So Brandon Woodruff.
3 guesses.
Yeah.
1 correct answer.
Woodruff had the iconic Brewers moment of that series in Game 1 where he hit the home run off Clayton Kershaw.
He hit the home run, that's right.
But Ulysse Chassin was the Game 7 starter for the Milwaukee Brewers.
All right, that is Miles. I'm gonna miss you when you're not listening anymore. I'm sorry to see you go. You just got here.
Please don't leave, Miles. I mean, you can leave.
What a waste, Wilde. What a waste.
So I'm gonna see. We're working on it. I told you I would work on it. I honestly am. I can't guarantee it's gonna work.
At least come back tomorrow, Miles. Tomorrow's gonna be a really good show. Next week, maybe do whatever you want, but come back tomorrow.
You guys have my email address, so it sounds like I might win a ticket to a game later tonight if Wilde doesn't go.
Miles, we love having you listen to the show. I'm not begging you to stay. You got to make your own decisions, okay? But we appreciate your loyalty to this point, even if it ends today.
I appreciate the...
I don't know. Tausch didn't even show up to the segment.
Miles is really getting slighted in this segment. Tausch takes it off. Wilde's saying he doesn't care if he comes back to listen.
And then I got Jesse. I thought I was rid of Jesse for the day, and he shows up. Like, what gives?
Miles, I was the one guy on your side here.
That said, it's been...
I know. You're all under the bus now.
It hurts.
It's gone.
All right, Miles. You got to listen tomorrow to find out if you win, although I guess we can still contact you if one of your 2 entries leads to a victory tomorrow. Be that as it may, we appreciate it. This was a fun edition of trivia, even though you only got 1 right. Thanks, buddy.
Yep, love you guys.
Oh, he even gave us a love you guys.
Come on, he's not. It's an empty threat.
I don't know. You know what? So Tier 1 Tyler and I might get together to watch the game tonight if we don't end up finding tickets to go ourselves. He lives in Cottage Grove. Maybe if I get together with Tier 1 Tyler, I'll text Miles since we have his phone number on record, too, and I'll tell him where to meet us for the game, and maybe that'll help keep his fandom with us a little bit.
All right. I'm going to continue to work on the possibility of attending this game. What an ironic twist to today's show, which began with me talking about how I'm not a fan, now facing this dilemma with two of my best friends in the world. All right. I'll work my way through that during the commercial breaks. Wilde and Tausch, the 11 o'clock hour. We'll see if we can get Tausch to return. We know Jesse's leaving.
I'm out of here.
Mercifully. That kicks off in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Milwaukee College Prep, dedicated to closing the opportunity gap for children in Milwaukee, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dreams. Join me, Good Karma Brand's founder CEO Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 17th, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee's most challenged communities. Milwaukee College Prep is closing the opportunity gap. To learn more and purchase tickets, go to MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com and click support.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
O'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with some good news on the Packers injury front. So, Tausch, you know that I get frustrated with the wordplay, the subterfuge, all the injury stuff.
BS.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to say there. That goes on. And I still believe that the NFL is going to have to address this. They have allowed daily fantasy and ESPN bets and all the wagering to be part of their culture now. So they're going to have to change how they're going to have to elevate their level of transparency when it comes to injuries. And coaches are going to hate it, but they I'm sure love the money that's flowing into their league. But yesterday was a win. Both a win for the Packers, given the nature of the news, and a win for us in the media, and media starts with me. We got an actual straight answer from Matt LaFleur about the status of one of his players. As I asked toward the end of our press briefing with the head coach about Christian Watson's status, here is how Matt LaFleur replied.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's just talking to him today. I think we got lucky. We dodged a real bullet there in terms of, because that looked pretty ugly. I mean, similar to, I feel like we got lucky with Jordan as well early in that Philly, at the end of the Philly game. But yeah, he seems to be, and he's definitely in good spirits, and he's going to do whatever he can to get back as soon as he can.
So the question I asked was, are you going to be able to avoid putting him on IR? And the new IR rules that came along it came along before COVID, but the idea of guys being able to be designated to return and only missing 4 games at minimum, now we know. Now we have a milepost for injuries. Is it bad enough that the guy's going on injured reserve? Then we know he's going to miss 4 games. If they don't put him on injured reserve, then he's probably going to be back before missing 4 games. And so in Christian Watson's case, there is optimism. I don't think he's playing this week, but does he play next week against the Cardinals? Does he play against the Texans? Those are now on the table because they are not IRing him. How big of a deal for a guy that had been very healthy throughout camp and then through no fault of his own, I mean, that was just a bang-bang play, and he got bent backward awkwardly. How big of news is this, and how important is this for this team that they do not have to put Watson on IR?
Well, I mean, it depends who you ask. I mean, you're asking me. I obviously think Christian Watson's a big piece to what this team on offense needs.
I agree.
You have a home run hitter that, when healthy, is going to dictate some coverage. And when he's out there, you're a better football team. Even if his numbers aren't, showing that, his speed makes defenses approach how they cover the Green Bay Packers differently. So that is just in itself, I think, important. But for his development to not be out for an extended period of time and to not kind of fall into that narrative that I'm sure he's sick and tired of hearing about, because I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing about it. I can just imagine how he feels with, he can't stay healthy. And unfortunately, that narrative has been somewhat accurate. And so for him to, if he misses 1 or 2 weeks, it did look bad. It looked like it might be a high ankle sprain or, something worse. The fact that they're not going to IR him and they feel like they dodged a bullet is a big positive, because you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to you. Listen to what your head football coach of your favorite team said.
Right.
This offseason, this training camp, this offense is not going to be at full capacity if we don't have Christian Watson.
Right.
This offense won't be able to maximize its potential if he is not going to be a component to it. So while you could say, well, they got a bunch of other wideouts, Tay and Jaden Reed, and all that's great. Do any of them have the skill sets that Christian Watson has? The answer is no, they don't.
No.
So he does bring another layer to this group, and the fact that he's only going to miss a little bit of time is really big for both his career development and obviously for this offense's development.
All right, I want to get into Wicks coming up next, because I thought what Matt LaFleur had to say about him was really interesting, and I had a really good conversation with him too, and a stat that just blew my mind about how open he was in that game. But on the flip side of the Watson question, I followed up by asking, is the same the case for Devon?
You followed up?
I did.
I know. Don't do that.
I know. It's very rare.
Wow.
And I said, is that the same for Devontae Wyatt? And then Coach Hedgie McHedgerson returned. Well, we got to wait a few more days and see where he's at. You would interpret that as there's a very real chance that he's going on IR, wouldn't you?
I would say that that's probably an accurate assessment. Now, whether or not you'll find that out on Saturday when you're jostling roster spots and things like that, maybe Friday. You also saw that they opened up the window on one of their defensive linemen in Ford. Right? Is that an accurate
Jonathan
assessment?
Ford.
So those things could be
Rudy's
hand
brother.
in hand. And so I think anytime a guy walks out in crutches and is in some kind of a boot, which is what I believe someone reported about you leaning up against the post, I think. Didn't you see in the locker room the other day? That's never a great sign. It doesn't mean he's going to be out 4 weeks, but it means he's probably going to miss a little bit of time. And then you have to start battling, well, if he's out 3 weeks or if it's a 2 to 4 week injury, but you start looking at the schedule and you want these guys to be able to be back and ready to roll. The fact that he wasn't so declarative about Devontae Wyatt probably tells you all you need to know.
Well, we will see what unfolds, but I will say this, for a group that has been criticized a lot, Devontae Wyatt has been the one guy that's been pretty consistently getting a push.
Boy, this coming from a Wyatt hater. Wow.
That's what I've heard, yeah. At least that's the prevailing opinion in Muskego. We will talk about a guy that I have been what does it make me on the other side then? Non-hater. I don't like the word lover. Dontavion Wicks. Had a great conversation with him.
You've been a lover. You've been a lover. It's all because of Tony Bennett, which is ironic. It's Tony Bennett, Virginia connection is why you like him.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, we'll talk about him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied. Jackson Chourio, his first postseason home run. Right field. It is deep. It is gone. We are tied in the 8th inning on the second home run. Right center field. It is up. It is gone. Garrett Mitchell, a go-ahead 2-run home run. 2-2 pitch. Lined out towards left center. Chourio is there. Game 3 is on the way tomorrow.
Blue October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Looking for that ultimate game day hangout during football season? Welcome to Magoo's on the Mound. Now open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday. With 13 TVs, you won't miss a moment of the action. Enjoy our free 100-square pool with amazing prizes and a complimentary halftime buffet. Plus, we've got great drink specials to keep you cheering. And don't forget, we offer shuttles to and from all Milwaukee baseball games. Magoo's on the Mound, where green and gold fans gather and where every game day is a win.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Christian Watson left Sunday's loss to the Vikings after suffering a high ankle sprain. Despite a report that the Packers wide receiver could end up on injured reserve, Head coach Matt LaFleur said that Watson won't miss much time.
Just talking to him, I think we got lucky and we dodged a real bullet there. It looked pretty ugly. I mean, similar to, I feel like we got lucky with Jordan. He's definitely in good spirits, and he's going to do whatever he can to get back as soon as he can.
The 2-2 Packers preparing for a visit to the 1-3 Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. Kickoff is at 3:25.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde letting you know that Tausch and I are going to be out at Steinhafels in Waukesha on Friday doing our show live. Steinhafels is celebrating its 90th anniversary with its biggest, best brands, best prices sale. Take 10% off all their best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special orders. And with Steinhafels' 18-month, 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. So stop by and say hi this Friday as we broadcast from Steinhafels in Waukesha, right off I-94 on Highway F.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
All right, I may be a stan, I may be a lover, I may be a...
Please don't.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't like that word. Just a weird
you don't have
word.
to do it. You don't have to do it with your tongue out and extra emphasis. Like, that makes it more disgusting.
Hello, lover.
The English accent.
Well, I learned all my accents from you.
I'm flattered.
You can't drop 3 passes in a game. That's bad. We all agree that's bad.
Great analysis, though.
You're welcome. You know what's good? And I can't remember if it was the 33rd team that had this stat or Pro Football Focus. Of all the pass routes he ran, and obviously he ran a lot because the Packers threw the football 54 times, he was open. He won his routes on over 80% of the routes he ran. I think it was
80%?
88 miles per hour! What the hell is a gigawatt? So he was open a hell of a lot. And so that was the dichotomy of Dontavion Wicks' performance on Sunday against the Vikings. Here's Matt LaFleur talking about Wicks.
Certainly there were some good moments for him. And I just think for all our players, not just Wicks, all our guys, we're just looking for more consistency, I think, across the board. And so how do you get that? It starts on a daily basis. It starts by how you come in each and every day, how you practice, how you prepare. And I think he's well aware of that, and I think he's going to embrace this. And but I'm excited about him and what he can become because we all see the talent. I mean, he is he's tough to guard on the line of scrimmage. And I know what he's capable of doing. We just got to get it out on a consistent basis.
Consistent basis is obviously a key part of the equation, right? That's what coaches, don't you always say consistency is what allows coaches to sleep at night? Am I misquoting you?
Yep.
I mean,
it's trust, but you get trust by being consistent, and they know what you're getting. Coaches want to know what they're going to get on a regular basis from their players. And whether or not they can live with that production, that's how they make their decisions.
So Wicks is not their number one receiver, but he does have a boatload of talent. And we were talking about maybe his role in this offense. How much does this confluence of the injury to Watson, him getting open a lot, and him having to figure out how to overcome 3 drops in the last game, where does that put you with this offense in your mind?
Yeah, I think if I'm Christian Watson, this is what makes me nervous. because you got a lot of young, hungry players, and everybody is scrapping for reps. I think Jaden Reed is going to get his reps. And outside of that, I think it's a crapshoot as far as who's going to get more. And now, through no fault of your own, as you said, Christian Watson has opened the door for a Lou Gehrig-type Wally Pipp scenario where Dontavian Wicks had a good game from a getting open. Obviously, you can't have 3 drops. You can't. There's stuff that he needs to be better at. But you also see, as a young player, and I don't know if Homer stole this quote from someone, but it's a great quote. Don't look at the bad, look at the great.
Yeah.
And that's what you could see that, if you've seen enough great things from Tay Wicks, that you're excited about him. And he's going to get more and more opportunities. And if he seizes those opportunities, what coaches don't do, especially with young players, is if they're showing you growth and consistency and production, they're going to want to see more of it. And an old ball coach would always used to say when guys would complain about playing time, make me look like an idiot for not putting you out there. That's the opportunity that Tay Wicks has. If he balls out, all of a sudden you're going to say, well, I'm going to be an idiot if I don't put you out there. And that's the goal for these guys that are, really competing for repetitions. How am I can't. I'm not going to put him out there? Boy, I'm going to be an idiot.
Larry Bechtel?
What do you mean?
Who was the coach that says, make me look like an idiot?
There's a lot of coaches that say
I know, but was there one that said
this
that
was either Popovich. I think it was. It's actually more of an NBA quote.
Oh, okay.
Because there's 5 guys.
Sure.
But it still stands. And this case, these next couple weeks, if Christian's out for a bit,
yeah,
this can be the big elevator game. And my question, I guess, where does that leave Romeo? Oh, fart, Romeo. I don't know.
Fart? What?
Oh, for Romeo. Because Jaden Reed, right now, if just a quick analysis, Jaden Reed is by far the one. Like, he is the guy. Boom. I think 2 is Romeo's starting to slip a little bit. I think Tay Wicks has got opportunities to jump, even though I still think Romeo Romeo is going to be in position to still, I think the trust level with him and Jordan in a normal game. Last week was not normal. That's not how Green Bay is going to play.
No, you're right.
That's not how they want to play. When it's consistent, I still think it's going to be Romeo, Romeo as the 2, and then I think you're going to see Tay Wicks, if he can elevate himself, battling for that. That's how I envision this shaking out, with Christian Watson having to come back and reestablish himself when he's healthy.
Yeah, I think Romeo is who Romeo is, and when they run their offense the way they normally would, he is going to be that third down possession receiver who can make the occasion. I mean, he's, again, I know I make comps to all these different guys I covered, but he's James Jones, which is not a bad person to be compared to. It's just not. But again, Wicks cannot. You can't keep dropping passes. Now, as I was saying this to Gabe and Big Cat this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but I talked to Reed, and those guys went in on Monday, and the first thing they did before meetings, before anything else, Wicks went and worked on the jugs machine. So he's doing what he's supposed to do to make up for what he did in the game.
On Monday morning, he went and worked on the jugs machine?
Uh-huh. Well, what do you mean?
I mean, so before they watched film, he went down to the Hudson Center and said, let me get some jugs?
Apparently. No, that was when he went to Hooters and watched Niger Morgan. Oh, I'm sorry, different story. Yeah, that's apparently. Him and Reed went down there together.
That seems a little teacher's petty-ish to me.
I don't think they went. I don't think they told the coaches. Matt LaFleur.
I know, but
so if
listen,
let me ask you this:
I love the Pippi long-stocking, youthful. I like that, but Go. Yeah, it's a little teacher's petty-ish.
He dropped 3 passes.
I understand. I do.
Tuesday,
you go down on your off day, and you can say, hey, I'm going to go down and work. Monday morning, you come in, and you're going to say, let me go down and hit the jugs machine. I guess now that you're in the same facility, you don't have to go all the way to the Hudson Center, get keys and open up and do all that.
Yep, see?
All right, I mistook. I forgot that the Packers built 3 indoor facilities in their complex. That's on me. I'll take the blame on that one. It's right next to the weight room. Okay, I'll rescind
you're rescinding.
My teacher's
all right,
pettiness.
good. I appreciate you rescinding. And I think him and Wicks and Reed did it on their own. They didn't go ask the coach to go feed balls. I think Reed fed the balls to him. So, again, he's conscientious. He cares about it. We'll see what he does in L.A. On Sunday. All right. We need to get to Will Riley since Jesse took away.
Just wait. We have a surprise guest, Brewers related. I can't guarantee it. He just texted me back. We're going to go to break.
What?
We're going to try and call. Yeah. With the young man who is throwing out the first pitch tonight, I believe may be calling into our show. And we're going to be doing that next if it works out, and if not, we'll go to Will Riley.
I'll gladly.
But I think we're going to have
concede my time to Robin Yount.
I think we're going to have Robin Yount join us to discuss all things Brewers on the next segment. I can't guarantee. I shot him a text at 10 o'clock to see if he'd be available to join us. I know he's busy, and he just got back to me. So let's get to break, and hopefully Robin will pick up when we give him a call. We'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results Mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to Mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Make plans now for early October football at the Perk when UW Whitewater hosts UW Oshkosh this Saturday. These national-ranked Division III football powers kick off at 1 p.m. Arrive early for a great game day experience as it's Family Fest in Whitewater. Tickets are available at uwwsports.com. Watch national championship-level college football this Saturday at Perkins Stadium when the Warhawks welcome in the Titans at 1 p.m. for a huge conference matchup. Get tickets at uwwsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything for your next painting project. Dutch Boy DuraClean Exterior Paint is a paint and primer in one that's available in thousands of color options. It's formulated to resist dirt, mildew, and fading. Save big on Dutch Boy Exterior Paint when you shop at Menards. Visit Menards.com and view our entire selection of exterior paint, plus the weekly flyer and many other great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Lowe's
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
What the hell are you doing?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. What are you doing?
I want to get Robin Yount to convince you to go to the game tonight. That's what I'm doing.
Joining us now.
You're a childhood hero.
He is.
That's what we're doing here.
He is. Childhood hero, baseball Hall of Famer, throwing out the first pitch tonight.
Well, that's debatable, but I'll do my best.
It is Robin Yount on Wilde and Tausch. Robin, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good. Just walking down the street with my wife to go get some lunch.
Well, tell Michelle I said hello. And by the way,
she's about 50 yards ahead of me because I'm walking slow, and she's in a hurry. So.
And belated happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm going to let Tausch take over because this was his idea. I don't know what the hell's going on here, quite frankly. So, Tausch, it's all you.
Well, that'll be two of us then.
Yeah, amen to everything. Well, Robin, so can you help me here? Jason Wilde we've been doing the show together now 9 years, and he always raves, you're his guy. And he's not a fan now, but I'm trying to explain to him how exciting last night was. He has an opportunity to go to the game tonight. Can you explain to him why he should be at AmFam Field tonight?
Well, why wouldn't you want to be is my biggest question.
Yeah.
You don't get many games of this magnitude, so I don't quite understand why everybody wouldn't want to be there.
Well, as a parent, you and Michelle and your kids, I am sure that since I was not a major league player, my schedule was a little bit different than yours during some of their childhoods. I've got one in a varsity cross-country meet. I've got another one in a volleyball match. They're at the same time. They're at 5 o'clock. I live in Green Bay because I cover the Packers.
He's got free tickets to the game tonight.
I do, with two of my best friends from college. This has taken quite a twist. It's not that I don't want to go. Logistically, a little bit dicey, but, bringing in my childhood hero to try and convince me to go is quite the move by my partner.
Well, I didn't realize all the family stuff, so I'm on your side with the family, but my contention would be, I have a feeling, by the way you're saying all of this, that you and your family are very close. That's why you want to go to these games. So I might argue that your family would understand that if you have the opportunity to go to the game, that they would be all good with it.
Yeah. And Jason, how many elimination games We just went through the numbers. You had the game with back in '82. You had the Diamondbacks. You had the NLCS in '18. It's been very limited. Tonight, you got your childhood hero throwing out the first pitch. He's going to be in attendance with his wife, and the atmosphere and everything else. So that's, I guess, that's where we're at.
Well, we got a very exciting team too, as they proved last night.
Yeah, that helps too.
There is no quit in the Brewers, so that's the kind of game that I think you should look forward to.
All right. Well,
I would think so. So, Robin, you got something, Jason?
Yeah,
I really want you to jump in because
I would love to jump in and not make this about me. So, since we've got one of the greatest players in history, enough about me. Let's talk about him. Robin, take us back to '82 and the stakes that look, I was at Game 4. I was a 10-year-old screaming my lungs out at Game 4. Mark Brohard, an unlikely hero, if I recall, in that game. But take us through what these guys are feeling tonight, because most of them have not been in a win-or-go-home, win and advance, lose and go home situation. What are they feeling tonight as they go into this one?
Well, they were in the same situation last night, so they obviously responded very, very well. So that is trucks going by. Sorry. That's going to help them. That's going to help them a lot because they couldn't lose last night, and they didn't with a great comeback win. So they're feeling pretty good about going into tonight's game. I know that.
So we started the show talking about Jackson Chourio, and I made the point, and this is one of the vivid moments from my childhood that you provided. Baltimore, 2 home runs in an elimination game, and you deliver. What did you think of what you saw from him? I know you have some connectivity with him being a young guy coming into the league at such a young age like you did. I know you guys have done some stuff together. What did you think of what he did last night?
Well, what I thought of him was how far advanced he is from where I was at that stage of my career. But he certainly is pretty comfortable with the spotlight on him and in the big situations. So as he proved last night, and he's proved all year. So I'm extremely impressed by Jackson, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game as much as you guys are, because it's you don't get these opportunities that often, and you dream about this kind of stuff since you're played your first Little League game. So, like I said, I can't wait to see tonight's game myself.
All right, I want to make sure we let you catch up to Michelle and eat your lunch. So 2 more quick things, because this has been a great surprise for me. One, when I look back on the '82 team, and we'll get to just a bit outside in a second here, but you guys are still the gold standard, obviously, and you didn't win it, but you got there, and that's the only time this organization has got there. As much as you cherish those memories, how much would you love for this team to beat you out and do what you guys didn't do?
I want it to happen more than you know. So, and I hope that divine intervention takes over somehow, some way this year. Not for me, but for everybody in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but for one person in particular. And that would be Bob Uecker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping somehow, some way, this is the Brewers' year, and the timing couldn't be better.
All right, last thing so you can have lunch. Tausch and I both got to see just a bit outside our friend Kelly Call, obviously the driving force behind that, and to see your emotion and how much that team meant to you. I mean, it meant the world to me, too, growing up in Milwaukee. I've gotten to interview you 5-10 times in my career now, but that was my team. And I know that was your team and Molly's team. And when you went through that process, what does that film mean to you and the opportunity to relive that?
Most of it's pretty good. The ending's a little tough. They got me. they got me in a pretty vulnerable spot, which I didn't expect to go to. But, you know, I saw it once. That's probably the last time I'll see it. It's not. It doesn't end so well for me, and unfortunately, I know the ending before the start. So I saw it. I think the people involved with the movie did a great job. So I hope everybody back here enjoys it.
Yeah, Robin, was it? I didn't know. I'm younger than you guys. I didn't know about the parade afterwards. Doesn't that just show you how great this fan base is in Milwaukee, that you had that kind of turnout? And can you just imagine what it'll look like if Milwaukee can advance tonight and find a way to get this thing done?
Well, no question. We got a long ways to go yet. This is just one step, tonight's game. But yeah, I mean, the loyalty of the Wisconsin fan base for all their sports teams is second to none. That's proven by the year we didn't win the World Series, and it was pretty hard to see from all the video and everything that took place after that we didn't win. So just imagine if we do.
All right, Robin, we will save the creepy discussion of my county stadium seat that's signed by you and all the other paraphernalia I have in my shrine in my basement for the next time you join us. We appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
What are you doing?
Was that not fun?
That was
Did
amazing.
You not have fun?
Yeah, he's pretty remarkable, and every.
I kind of wanted to know where he was going to lunch, but I didn't want to give out free advertising.
Of course,
I think he was going to Hooters.
That's part of that's where you go on game days for elimination games, apparently. That is the Baseball Hall of Famer and Brewers legend Robin Yount on Wilde and Tausch. We will wrap things up next, so stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Davante Adams is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I am begging the Buffalo Bills to not do this. I'm begging you, don't do this. You have found what's right. Because everybody's talking about the Bills. This is the perfect Steph Diggs replacement. No. Here's what happened. Your quarterback graduated. He's really good. Don't give him only 17 to look at, just like he only looked at 14. Do not do this, Buffalo Bills. I don't care any other team in the league. Go ahead. Just be smart about this. You've had this amazing start. Josh Allen is at a point in his career where having Davante Adams actually could hurt your team. As crazy as that sounds, I'm begging the Bills not to do this. That is my destination. Please, Buffalo Bills, don't do this. It's not about Davante Adams. He's awesome. Because I'm thinking about him in Washington. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. That is smart. The same thing could be said about Buffalo. Don't do this.
Studio wants to make a movie of our podcast.
Don't miss the new season of the Hulu original Only Murders in the Building.
We're going to Hollywood.
We have a fabulous cast.
Eugene Levy.
Eva Longoria.
And Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, yes, Zach Galifianakis, of course.
Starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
This is box office gold.
We'll take it from here.
You got this?
We're not children. And can you open this snack? My assistant's not here.
The Hulu original series Only Murders in the Building, Season 4. New episodes Tuesdays, streaming on Hulu.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up. The food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
After going down by 4 touchdowns early in Sunday's game to the Vikings, Jordan Love's first game back from injury at quarterback turned into an air attack. However, his 4-touchdown, 3-interception performance only brought the team back so far. The Pack falling 31-29 at Lambeau Field. And afterwards, head coach Matt LaFleur had a simple message.
This is a humbling league at times, and credit to them. They did more than we did to win the game, and we got to bounce back from it. We got to learn from it and get better.
The Packers look to get back in the win column as they take on the 1-win Rams in LA on Sunday afternoon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic void. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are live from the Bucks Foundation Golf Outing. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Tausch, I feel like having a legend on, not only to convince me to go to the game, but get us hyped up, has you sitting over there saying, pour me in, coach.
Yeah, Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day and an elimination game day at AmFam Field. Yeah. Pour us all in, coach, from a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. Root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy bloody. Salt the rim of a Tito-rito or take home the win with Tito's and whatever your heart desires. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey. As long as you make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly. Did that not get you fired up?
Yeah.
At Robin Yount talking about this team, what this city, what the state, it's just the opportunities are so hard to come by. Mm-hmm. And what I loved about that movie, just a bit outside, Robin, who I think he's as humble of a dude as you're going to see.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He really lets you in. And I think that's probably why he doesn't want to go watch it again, because he showed that vulnerability about how important and meaningful that team, this city, and this organization means to him. And, man, I thought that was great.
So he brought something else up, and again, you're right about everything he said there. But Bob Uecker did not call Game 1 or Game 2.
That.
In corresponding with some people. I don't know if he's going to call Game 3 tonight or not. Obviously, our friend Jeff Levering will be there, and he's amazing, so he'll be on the call. But you would love for Bob to be part of it. But more importantly, like Robin said, the idea of this team doing what the 82 team couldn't, while Bob, who is not a young person, is still here. I thought that summed up Robin Yount in a huge way too, right? I mean, that's just who he is. To be thinking about what it would mean to Bob.
Well, it's just if you can obviously tell every time there's a celebration how much enjoyment the players get out of seeing Bob Uecker enjoy it. And Bob is at a certain age now where you really, I think, rallying around and trying to figure it out, that would just be another thing to kind of push for. You want to win for yourself, but I thought the same thing when Robin said that. It got you a little chill of, hopefully this team can do it. There's a long way to go. Got to win tonight, and you're going to be a dog against Philly, all that stuff, but sometimes these things just go. and you just get the ball rolling, things can go. And for him to, for everybody and for all the young guys, and you see that relationship that Yelich has with Uke, it would just be another layer to this playoff puzzle.
All right, well, tonight, first pitch is at 6:08, the real first pitch of the game. Robin will be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch before that.
Is Billy catching it, or who's catching it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Get Billy out there again.
Well, he was good luck last night, clearly, right?
No, we lost. We lost when Billy did it.
Oh, that's right. Keep him out of there, then. And
Billy, you're out of here.
Get Uke down there. Have him catch it. He was a catcher back in the day.
Imagine? Could you imagine?
If that's a crowd reaction. Robin to Uke. All right, well, that's it for us today. Game 3 is tonight. You can hear it on 620 WTMJ and across the Brewers radio network, of which we are the flagship. We look forward to tonight's game, and we will talk about it, hopefully in a positive light, tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us. Thanks to Robin Yount, unexpectedly joining us. Thanks to Tausch for making that happen. And thanks to you. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
To those football fans, tailgating season is here. There's no better way to celebrate football being back than with Boda Box Wine. Boda Box is giving away tickets to 2 separate winners for a VIP Green Bay game day and tailgate party experience for the November 24th game against San Francisco. Fans, enter by scanning the QR code posted at participating Boda Box retailers in Wisconsin through October 30th. Winners will be announced on November the 1st. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 years or older to enter. Boda Box Vineyards, Manteca, California. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for more details.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
80% the second bump after the second bump, it's a move.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Oof, da.
That means absolutely everything.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
The now quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Jordan Love.
Come on. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. As the Padres turn their focus to the Dodgers in the National League Division Series, there is concern about starter Joe Musgrove, removed from the NL Wildcard Series clincher against the Braves with right elbow tightness. He'll undergo testing today with the hope he is able to pitch against the Dodgers. That best-of-5 series begins